Barbados, get up.
Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning to you, everyone, and welcome to Friday. Friday, boy. It's the end of the week for those of you who work Monday to Friday. It's an opportunity for you to relax at the weekend. Good morning, everybody. I'm Pearson Bowen. Good having you company. Thank you also for waking up to keep us company live right here on CBC TV8 and on your streams on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, cbc.bb. These are different ways in which you can see and engage in everything that we do. And to all of you who do so, thank you for doing so. I ask one thing of you every day, as you know, which is to share the show, share the love, tell others about us, let them come by and be a part of what we do. And as you talk among yourselves, talk to us as well. We love to see and read your comments. And of course, if you know of something or someone whose story has to be told, then you have to tell us about it because you know about it. And so you can help us by telling us about it via email. The email address is morninbarbados@cbc.bb, morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And to each and every one of you, we say a big, mighty thank you for doing so. Have you noticed the rain? I'm being so serious. This was raining since yesterday evening. It was raining all night. It is still raining in most parts of the island so far. So that means you need to be careful. You need to be absolutely careful because, you know, when we have this kind of persistent rain for some time, over some time, extended periods of time, the possibility of flooding occurs. And you know where you live. You know the roads around you. You know your access points. And so we want you to be very, very careful. Be mindful of the possibility of rising waters and what rising waters could possibly mean. If you're unfamiliar with the surface, be careful as you drive. There are pedestrians who are using the streets as well. And so the things we call potholes exist. And so you need to be very careful not to splash or to injure your vehicle as you go as well. So be careful today, everyone. I'm not sure yet what's causing the weather or when we can expect any change in the conditions as we've been so accustomed. But what I can tell you is some information that has been sent to us by the Met Office. It came in just about 3 this morning. So while some of you were sleeping, this information came to us from, if they stop moving, I can help, the Meteorological Office. It tells us that continuous shower activity from 1 o'clock this morning occurred across Barbados, and that activity is forecast to continue over the next few hours. So therefore, the Barbados Meteorological Services has issued a flash flood watch. A flash flood watch. That means that there is the moderate possibility of soil erosion on bared or scarred land surfaces, along with water settlements on roads and fields. There are also the possibility of increases in water levels, as I've been sharing with you, of existing water bodies, excess and overflowing of storm drains and so forth. And what you should do is to monitor the Barbados Meteorological Services and also us here at the CBC and the other official websites for updates. There is a surface to low-level instability happening in our atmosphere at the moment, and that is supported by adequate low-level moisture, which has already produced moderate to heavy showers across our island overnight. There are up to 2 inches so far has been recorded in some areas, with a further 1 to 2 inches expected throughout the morning. So a flash flood watch has been issued when those conditions are now favorable for gradual flooding, generally greater than 2 hours. And so that flash flood watch was issued at 3 this morning and will be updated at 8 o'clock this morning or sooner if conditions warrant. You know the weather conditions, you know where you live, so we want to encourage you to be mindful of the fact that with these persistent showers, the possibility is for flash flooding, and therefore we are under a flash flood watch. You know the roads. You know those pockets that occur where they occur. So now you know, plan your commute accordingly. But life continues and we get on with it today. So a word to the wise is sufficient. 6 after the hour. It's the birthday today, by the way, of Slender Glenda's daughter. Slender Glenda's daughter, Leah, is marking a birthday today. So to you, Leah Yard, good morning. Happy birthday to you today from Mummy and all of us and the early morning wall crawlers. Speaking of which, the Lady of Glendalough. I know a number of you are asking yourself, where on earth is Glendalough? Glendalough is in the parish of St. Lucie. And so the Lady of Glendalough, Janlyn Skeet, is celebrating today. Jan, happy birthday to you today, Lady of Glendalough. Have yourself a terrific birthday as well. So Slender Glenda, good morning to you as well. She's sending the best and a fantastic Friday to all. She's hoping you all have safe travels today. Joe Jackman, good morning to you too. Thank you for watching from the UK. Have a terrific day. Her family is also from St. Lucie. Patricia Ben, good morning to you, Pat. She's saying good morning to the whole crew. And so to you, we say the very, very same indeed. Vereen, back at you. Have yourself a good one. Watching from New Rochelle in New York. Have an awesome today as well. Vereen Walker, all the best to you as well. Eleanor, good morning to you, Eleanor Griffith. Beautiful Friday morning, back at you. I love the rain. I love the rain. So for me, this is a beautiful start to another beautiful weekend. Rhonda Hines Graham, Sweet Rons, good morning. Fantastic Friday morning to you as well. She's saying good morning to the ever active Janlyn Skeets. I'm wishing Janlyn a happy birthday today. Janlyn is a part of the team that manages the early morning wall crawlers, and they do some tremendous work. I salute you. I thank you for your service, as they say, but I thank you so much for sticking with it and making sure everyone is well. So those two. But Anne-Marie Burke also marks today as a birthday. So to Anne-Marie, good morning, Anne-Marie. Have a lovely, lovely day today as you celebrate your birthday. So I have a question of today. You know how we do this in the morning. We ask you to stop for just a moment and think. Think of something of really great importance. Like this question. The question is, what is the biggest challenge, in your opinion, facing our local farmers right now? What do you think is the biggest challenge facing our local farmers right now? Call me right now. Call me. What do you think it is? Is it climate and weather, like today? Is it the cost of inputs? Is that a challenge for our local farmers today? Is it market access, just having somewhere where they can offload the produce and the work of their labor? Is it labor shortages? Is it we don't have enough people to really work in our agricultural sector? Or is it, as we say in Barbados, good old thieving, predial larceny? Is that the biggest challenge facing our local farmers today, whether it is in livestock or in other food crops? What is it, do you see, to be the biggest challenge facing our local farmers? Your calls come on 228-5562 or 228-5563. Your comments, you can also post in our comment sections on YouTube and Facebook. But I really want to hear from you today. What do you see to be the biggest challenge facing local farmers right now? Right now, what are some of those impediments to success in farming? Is it climate and weather? Is it the cost of the inputs into agriculture and your different areas of endeavor? Is it market access? You just can't find a space to get your product sold. You just can't because of competition, perhaps, from outside of the region. What is it? Is it labor shortages? You just can't find enough people to get their hands dirty? What is it? Or is it predial larceny? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Call me and you let me know your thoughts on this one. I'm waiting on your thoughts on this. I'm really, really waiting to hear from you. I think you have a point of view which will be interesting to hear. So please do call and share. Also coming up today, we're taking a look at the pawpaw. The pawpaw. And I'll tell you why. Let's take this call first. Good morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I am well too.
Oh, you're very welcome. Is it raining where you are at the moment?
Yes, it isn't.
Is it
stopping me from going to my morning walk.
It's stopping you from taking... Listen, you back in sport. On my way to work in the dark of today, I saw a lady out walking in a driving rain. She had on her little reflective vest and her light, and she was trotting. So don't let this rain stop your jam here.
Yes. So I think the biggest problem facing the farmers, I am going to say number 6, all of the above. We can't look at it in isolation.
We cannot.
It's a number of things affecting them.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people have the labor, but they don't have the market access. People have products that don't be affected by the climate or the weather, but number 5 affects them.
Yeah, the fever.
So I think all of the items affect the industry
Okay.
in one way or another.
Fair enough. So you don't have a biggest at all. All of them you
No.
think have equal rating. All right. Are you
Yeah.
into farming yourself?
No.
No.
Just
Why not?
buying the produce.
You're the purchaser. All right. But
Yes,
why aren't
please.
you into farming at all?
Sometimes I want to do it on a small scale.
But?
You know? But my other activities don't allow that.
And that is all in your head. You know that, right?
Okay.
You're not even challenging me on that. Okay. If it's that simple.
We'll see.
You know, seriously, if you have the will, you will find the time and the way to get it done. So if it's that important to you, trust me, sister, you will do it. You will do it.
Okay, then.
Do you have the space to do that, the kind of agriculture that you will want to do?
Yes, I think so.
Is it your land?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Once you think so, that's good. All right. I thank you for your call and your thoughts, all right?
Okay, Pearson, it's Julianne, and have a great day.
Julianne, have a great day yourself. Thank you so very much indeed, sister. Have a wonderful
Bye-bye.
today. Bye-bye. 228-5562 or 228-5563. The reason we're talking about pawpaw today, and I say like that and not the papaya, Beijing, is because we know that there are times when that particular product is under threat. But there is a team of people who are about making a change and making a difference to the production of pawpaw. So we'll talk to them in just a little bit about that. The biggest challenge as far as Pat Ben is concerned is that our local farmers today, for our local farmers, is number 1, climate and weather, and number 5, which is prey larceny. She says it's a shame that farmers work so hard to produce and then someone comes along and steals it at their what they consider to be their most opportune time. So for Pat, those are the two biggest ones indeed. But what are your thoughts? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Also coming up today, when we talk about beach education, I think this one is going to surprise you. It's more than just understanding the tides. It's more than understanding the warning signs. There is an opportunity for a number of you to begin the process in Barbados of exploring educational opportunities abroad. And so this opportunity you will get to know about this morning for sure. I'm still waiting on your calls. I ain't done yet here. 228-5562 or 228-5563. So that opportunity will come for you this morning when we talk beach education, as we look at some of the educational opportunities in the United Kingdom. So the people behind that will talk to us about what that really truly entails today. And also today, the man whose faith creates his fire to make a difference. That young man will sit across from me today as I delve into his story, because I think his is one of inspiration, not just information. And so he's an exciting young man, built to last, and has his eyes zero focused on just doing the work of God. But who is he? You really need to stick around to find out. His story is one that will inspire all of you. But I still want to hear from you today about what you think to be the biggest challenge facing local farmers right now. Is it climate and weather? Is it the cost of inputs? Is it access to markets? Is it the fact that we may have a labor shortage and or predial larceny? And remember, farming for me is more than just what we see as products and produce. There's also livestock farming. There are people who actually farm flowers and the rest of it. Broadly look at farming and tell me, what do you think to be some of the biggest challenges? What do you see them to be? And then also, if you can, tell me really, what would you want to do about it? 228-5562 or 228-5563. You call and let me know, or you write in our comment sections on Facebook and YouTube and you let me know. What is it? But before I continue, let me just remind you that if you're looking to plant and make something beautiful and add some color to your home, your garden, or your business, I'll tell you about that in a minute. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Pearson.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. And you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for... You know this is my kind of weather, so this is my kind of a start to a day. How is the weather where you...
Weather too.
You love it too. This is Terry.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Terry. So good to hear you for after a little while. Is it still raining where you are?
Not at the moment.
May it stop? Jeez, all right. I wanted to continue just a little while longer. Is it that where you live is also a flood-prone area generally?
No, it isn't.
Or you up high so it runs down?
No, I'm not far from the city.
Or you're not too far from us? What does that mean?
Just across the road. course.
So it doesn't flood here? Is that what you're saying?
We don't start where I am.
Fair enough, Terry. That's all right.
It floods by CBC.
Well, the times when, of course, depending on the volume of water, it is on the surface of the road, and you have to be very careful still. You never noticed that?
Yes.
Right. So that's what I'm talking about. So Terry, what do you think is the biggest challenge facing our local farmers right now?
Climate and weather and predial larceny.
Climate, weather, and the predial larceny ones, those two in particular.
Yeah.
Why do you say so?
I remember the other day when they had all that rain and the farmers lost their crops that they had planted. Yeah. So then I had to wait. The rain fell for a lot of days. And now then they have to start planting again.
So, but you know, there's some types of farming that have to happen outdoors, no cover.
Yeah.
And so therefore, that's a risk that farmers understand. So,
it's still a problem.
okay, fair enough. And then, of course, there's the teething, the predial larceny. What can we do about that? What do you think we can do about that, Terry?
Let me see. I wish.
What do you wish? Pardon me?
When they go to do the crop, that's some to.
Well, Terry, girl, you're breaking up so bad I could barely hear properly. So I'm not sure what you're saying. But for you, I'll take your call. But thank you so much, Terry, for calling. Predial larceny is of concern to you, and you wish that we would stop it. Essentially, you wish that we would take the fact that this is someone's effort and their investment and get serious about it. For Vereen Walker, it is all of the above. All of them she sees to be the biggest challenge in many different ways, of course. Market access, labor shortages, predial larceny, climate and weather, the cost of inputs. All of those concern Vereen. And so, Vereen, you might very well be right, but that's it for you. But don't forget, folks, at Codrington Plant Nursery and Garden Center, they grow plants that make Barbados beautiful. From vibrant flowers to shade-giving and coastal resilient trees, the plants will enhance your parks, your beaches, roadsides, hotels, and even your backyard. Every month, thousands of plants are properly propagated and carefully done and prepared for planting, keeping our island green, climate resilient, and visually stunning. And when you purchase from Codrington, you are supporting local jobs, you are reducing imports, you are investing in sustainable future. So whether you're planting a community park, revitalizing your garden, or adding a splash of color, it all begins at Codrington Plant Nursery and Garden Center. I want to encourage you to check them out today. It's 6:19. We'll take a break here. We're coming back to talk to you a whole lot more about Papa and much more. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Choosing a school for your child is difficult, but choosing a school in a different country? Don't miss the UK and Bahamas Education Fair, Barbados, Saturday the 31st of January. Beach Education provides knowledge and support for your child to live out their dream of studying abroad. 8 top schools will attend, including Beeds, Canford, Rugby, Badminton and Drama and Media powerhouse Hurtwood, a state boarding school and even a school closer to home in the Bahamas. There's a school to fit every budget. Saturday the 31st of January, Courtyard Marriott. Book your free ticket via beacheducation.com.
Or is what education looks like now. The education I grew up in looked a whole lot different. It was chalkboard, sit at your desk with your slate or even your book, and that was it. Today, the young people are demanding a different approach. And so there's the possibility for many of you to explore what's possible so that your child becomes, and I'll leave that right there, just becomes through the educational opportunities in the United Kingdom. Thus, beach education. And when I heard the term, I thought to myself, all right, we're talking about lifeguarding, we're talking about learning to swim. All of those things ran to my mind, but here it is. It's a different approach. And I'm happy to be joined this morning by Fiona Beach, who is the lead on the beach education opportunity that we'll be having tomorrow, I think it is.
Tomorrow.
Fiona, and she's brought along the liaison, the consultant from the Barbados leg in Michelle Marshall. Ladies, morning.
Good morning.
Fiona, first of all, welcome to my beautiful little island.
Thank you.
Is this your first visit?
No, I think this is coming up to my 10th visit.
Oh, so you're Bajan. You got this. And so what does it mean to you and as one of those of beach education to come and bring this opportunity to Barbadians?
Absolutely. So my consultancy specialises in helping families from the Caribbean with finding the perfect match school. And we're so delighted with this fair to actually have school representatives coming out to Barbados to talk about the different options available. And obviously the schools that we've got, each one of them have been hand selected by me. And each school is slightly different because obviously the pupils are all looking for something different. So I have the wonderful job, along with Michelle, of really finding that perfect fit for every pupil coming in. And even if they're just thinking about it for maybe a few years' time, or it could be next year even, there are just so many different opportunities out there, and I'd really encourage families to come down and find out more.
And you're right about the age range, because I see you're targeting from as young as 8 years old, well, to begin the exploration with them, up until about 18 or thereabouts. So that's a vast, because they're why do you start at 8 o'clock? At 8 years?
Yeah, I mean, every child is different, and I think it's working out when is the best time to send your child to boarding school as such. And some of these schools, and for parents especially, this is a whole long journey that we're with them for, and it takes them a couple of years potentially they'll come over to visit the school, and that process can take up to 2 years. I mean, we can do it shorter, and we can, families that come tomorrow could be looking for this September, and we can absolutely make that work. But again, it's just sort of starting that idea and that thought of, could this be something I want to do, or do I just even want to do maybe a summer camp in the UK to start with? Because again, these schools that we've got, some of them run incredible summer programs, and they might be specialised programs on cricket or football or dance. So there are so many different options out there. So it's good to start early.
The video we just shared with everyone showed not the what we call the academic side of education. Is that what you're offering at the education fair?
That's a really good question. In terms of what we've got, yes, all of these schools are very, from the academic point of view, they are brilliant. We've got one school, a few schools that are very academically selective, others that you still have to, pass an interview. But I think where boarding school really comes into its own is everything else that happens outside the classroom and how that feeds in, from leadership to, teamwork to doing the different sports that maybe they haven't been exposed to. And I think that's the joy of a boarding school, is everything else that happens, and the friendship and the community and the diversity that boarding school in the UK has to offer.
And while you were listening, folks, take a look at your screen, because then you see the number of different educational opportunities that will be afforded you at this education fair tomorrow. Courtyard by Marriott is where you'll be assembling for all of this. And so you brought a number of, you make it easier for us, let's put it that way, because now we don't have to travel to the school to see. We actually engage with you in significant ways. And so from your perspective, Michelle, as working alongside this, how important is this for the Barbadian family and the Barbadian child?
I think the first thing I always say to people is every single child has their own pathway. I always talk about the pathway to success. Not everyone wants to go a path, the traditional path. And this is a small island, a proud island, but we do not have centers of excellence in every single genre and every single major. And if you recognize the fact that I wanted to do telecommunications engineering, it is not available here. And even though I was born in the UK, I went to school in Barbados. So big shout out to Miss Cox Private School.
Are you serious?
I am very serious.
I am too.
Big shout out to St. Silas at Queen's College, right? But then I knew that I really wanted to broaden my horizons. And that opportunity of having a British passport, dual nationality with Barbados, going to England, opened up a whole world for me. And therefore I always say to parents, please do not pigeonhole your child. There's over $4 billion worth of scholarship funding just in North America alone. And that's just a drop in the ocean to what's offered in the UK. So yes, there is a scholarship route, but there's also a placement route. Some of these schools, you will struggle to get their attention singularly. This is an opportunity for every single academic scholar, every single student athlete within this age group, even people who want to do masters. I know we didn't talk about that, but we do have that avenue as well. And therefore, if you have the opportunity, come on down and experience it tomorrow at the Courtyard Marriott's from 3 to 6. We are going to be down there. Of course, you can register online at www.beacheducation.com. But of course, you can register at the door. We realize that Barbadians can be very last minute. So this is a beautiful opportunity to explore what the UK has to offer.
I so agree with you. I'm excited myself as the big old man, for what is possible for our young people today. And so then you said to me, as we were preparing to go live, that one of the schools that will be there is one that Mr. Bethel attended.
That's correct.
Yes.
We've actually got his former cricket coach and his housemaster as well coming out. So that's a really great opportunity in terms of the route that he's taken, and obviously the success, but also the huge talent that he had on island, and how that's supported through being at boarding school. And we've got a few other very strong cricket schools as well with us. So again, whether you're interested in sports or drama, whatever that niche might be, there's hopefully a school that will fit what you're looking for at this event.
So when I turn up tomorrow at Courtyard by Marriott at 3 in the afternoon, I really want you to come and spend the time, ladies and gentlemen. Come spend the time. Don't rush the process, as we say. And what is it that I need to come with so that we really maximize the opportunity while there for those few hours?
I would say come with the family. Bring your child, no matter what age they are. Bring them along so they can be engaged in this process. I think a lot of it, they'll be given some amazing brochures with a lot of information that we provide, and both Michelle and I will be there to help support them through that, but not only at the event, post-event, through that whole journey. And that's something for me that I feel very strongly about. I've got a few pupils from Barbados who are starting boarding school this September, and I will be with them throughout that whole journey. And that's the really important thing, is not just for the pupil, but for the parent, and the parents feel supported through this. So I would say come down with an open mind. It's very informal, the representatives that we've got from these schools, and we've actually even got a school from the Bahamas that runs the British curriculum, but they've got a boarding school in the Bahamas. So again, each school is different. We've got a school that is slightly more budget friendly, as long as you have access to a British passport. So there's different routes, and I would just say come down, even if you're just thinking about it, use the opportunity. We're only here for a day. And then, as I said, afterwards, we are then, Michelle and I are absolutely here to support you through the whole process, organising tours to the UK, interview preparation, all of that we're able to do, which we love.
We're very, very hands-on.
Yeah, you take the worry out of all of this, indeed.
Exactly.
And part of the worry, Michelle, for a lot of parents, when you think boarding school abroad, is the dollar sign. How can I afford? Do you have that level of discussion as well in this education?
Of course. I mean, as I said, we in Barbados are very, very, very fortunate. We don't get a feeling for how much education really costs. But one thing I can say about Barbados is that we produce excellent scholars and excellent sports people, and that can lead to a scholarship pathway. It can lead to a bursary pathway. So sometimes I don't want you to get sticker shock. What you see as the beginning of the price not necessarily might be where you end up. But we do have certain families whereby that is the price and they can afford to pay, but the ones who can't and their children are extremely talented, come and discuss it with us. There could be possibilities.
That is so good to hear. So folks who heard that, come discuss it. There could be possibilities, and you'll miss that possibility if you don't show up. So you need to show up. To Courtyard by Marriott tomorrow from 3 in the afternoon until 6. Those are 3 hours that should not be squandered. Those are 3 hours that your child is saying, Mommy, Daddy, Granny, whoever, come. I want to, because I feel within my spirit this is who I am and this is what I want to be able to experience. And so it's incumbent upon all of you adults, when you see the talent in your child, not to ignore it. Don't think of the cost of it. Think of the opportunity gains that come simply by giving them that pathway to being their best self indeed. And so I want to encourage you to be a part of it tomorrow. Remember, you can go online to beacheducation.com and you can see more, but register so that you really have that surety that you will have your moment to have your conversations with a number of schools that will be there. How many have you brought along, Fiona, so that we have a broad sense of the time that we have to use?
So we have 8 schools joining us, each school slightly different, and we've also got an incredible guardianship company joining us, because again, we want to provide have that space where the parents can really feel everything will be answered for them, and the support of their child when it comes to half terms, or we have long weekends in the UK called Exeat sometimes. So it's an opportunity for families, pupils to go home with families, and that's all arranged by Guardian Family Network. So the owner of that will be there as well and on hand to help guide parents. So to give them that reassurance of everything is taken care of. They just need to make the decision ultimately on the school and go with their heart, and we'll take care of the rest.
It can be a very paper-driven process, and a lot of people stumble through it. And really and truly, they expect to get a really good result by stumbling through it. And we are the experts. Every single paper that should come to you and leave you, we understand what it should have written on it, where it should go, when it should get there, and what it should say. And I think that type of hand-holding is what you should do with your child's future. Don't leave it to random. Don't leave it to guesswork. Come to the experts.
Indeed. So I'm trying to imagine how it works. A number of parents and families are registered to come and they're there. Is it a case of I move from area to area, or is it a group session and then we go into more detail one-on-one? How is it going to, how is it structured?
So in terms of the actual event, what normally happens is people, as you said, register beforehand and they put down their child's interests. At that point, Michelle and I are able to then have almost like a quick conversation with them of what are you looking for? Because there'll be some schools, I mean, we've got one school that's an all-girls school, so therefore that's going to be very direct in terms of, you know, their audience. So each school is slightly different. So we really try and be bespoke for each family coming through, that the conversations that they have are really meaningful, both for the schools but also for the families. So we will do a mini consultation for them and then suggest some schools to go and have a chat with, and then they can come back to us at the end saying absolutely that's the school. And if for some reason that's not the school, then again, you know, Michelle and I are still able to help them through. I mean, I'm an independent consultant in the UK, so therefore I can help with other options as well. But the schools that we've got coming out are really special schools, and really excited to have them all. So
this is going to be a special moment, folks, a special moment not to be missed. And so I want to encourage as many of you as possible to register right now. I know it's raining. For a lot of you, you feel lazy. But this is not the time to be lazy. I want children for you to, I'm going to use the word annoy, but you know what I mean. Annoy your parent to say, I want to be there, mommy, daddy, uncle, auntie. I want to be there. I see me being a part of this process. And so I want you to take me to the Courtyard by Marriott tomorrow from 3 and begin your dream. Begin exploring what's possible for you. We're looking at those between the age of 8 to 18, because from quite young, those little 8-year-olds already know what they want to do too. You see their skills, you see their passion, you see what drives them. You hurt your head trying to figure out how to be able to accommodate that passion. Now you have a possibility. You have an opportunity tomorrow at 3, from 3 till 6 o'clock at the Courtyard by Marriott to explore what's possible at a boarding school in the UK that is tailored to that child's passion. There will be academics as well. There are opportunities for an all-girls experience. You get to engage with different cultures and different people, different languages. You get to see the world. It's raining. That some of us only dreamt of. And so tomorrow begins that process. It is absolutely free to turn up to register.
Absolutely free.
There you go. Piece of cake.
I also wanted to add one thing as well. I want to invite sporting stakeholders and students' guidance counselors and anyone who has investment in the idea of developing our youth to also come on down. We want to foster, Barbados, we want to foster sports tourism.
Of course.
So I would love for there to be tours of schools coming to Barbados, but I would love for there to be tours from Barbadian teams or whatever to go to the UK as well. So we're opening the door to them. I sent them direct emails. Please come down and have that conversation with us.
Fantastic. This is fantastic indeed. Thank you so much for sharing this with us,
Thank
Fiona.
you.
And Michelle.
Thank you.
And before we go, Michelle, you want to give a tribute to the late, great Sybil Leacock? When were you there?
I was there from 1988 to 1970 to 1980.
You came after I left.
Yes. I would not be the young person that I am today. I was ahead of my time, a year ahead of my time at primary school. So instead of doing over year 4, I found out about Miss Leacock's school and said to my mom I wanted to go there. And from the time that I met her and I walked in and she sat me down, she said, Michelle, this is not about being fearful. Tell me about you. What is your vision? What do you want to do? I still employ the exam techniques that she gave me today. I still employ the elocution that gave me that passion and that drive. That entry into Queen's College could not have happened without that polish. And even when I used to come back to Barbados on trips to Barbados and whatever, I would find myself in the whim and knocking on her door, and she would always embrace me. She's passed on, and I know that we will see each other at her memorial service.
For sure, for sure. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Fiona, as well.
Thank you.
And welcome home.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget, folks, it's tomorrow, 3 to 6 o'clock, the Courtyard by Marriott. Remember to register right now, beacheducation.com, or you can reach out as quickly as possible, show up while you're there as well, and let's find that space for your child, for your sports endeavor as well. So all of that's possible tomorrow. Morning Barbados breaks here. We're coming back in a moment.
Choosing a school for your child is difficult, but choosing a school in a different country? Don't miss the UK and Bahamas Education Fair, Barbados, Saturday the 31st of January. Beach Education provides knowledge and support for your child to live out their dream of studying abroad. 8 top schools will attend, including Beeds, Canford, Rugby, Badminton and Drama and Media powerhouse Hurtwood, a state boarding school and even a school closer to home in the Bahamas. There's a school to fit every budget. Saturday the 31st of January, Courtyard Marriott. Book your free ticket via beacheducation.com.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
14 and a half minutes now to go to the hour of 7 o'clock as we turn our attention to one of our favorite fruits. I'm telling you, there is nothing like a pawpaw. And there's nothing like a pawpaw because of the properties of the pawpaw, and it's one of those cherished fruits. But somehow, for some reason, it is also under threat by myriads of problems. The last time we were here on Morning Barbados talking about pawpaws, we had the same weather condition. And there was a team on the island that were going to be going around to farmers and farms to take a look at the different methods of production and the challenges that farmers are facing and the like. And all of this was generally led by ICA. Alistair Glenn is back. He's the country head that leads ICA. Alistair, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you back with us.
Pleasure to be
also with you this morning, representing the Ministry of Agriculture, is Damien Coppin. Damien, morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, Barbados.
The kind of day you guys kind of like, but also concerned about, right?
Yeah, a little too much rain sometimes.
As with life, a little too much is not necessarily the right thing. Marcus Maiku, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Describe for me what you do. There's a rhyme in there.
So I am an agronomist by training. That's a specialist in crop production. I've been visiting and working in Barbados since 2000, so it's not my first time, and usually I will come 2 or 3 times a year. I worked through the entire Caribbean, from Jamaica, Belize, sometimes it's Caribbean, sometimes it's Central American, but from Belize, Jamaica in the north, right back down to Trinidad, French Guiana, Suriname over the years. So I guess I have traveled and worked in many different countries and cultures. I am the founder and managing director of a company. Initially, it is a consultancy, which is under the name of the acronym MAFAS. But my recent designation over the last 3 years is also the founder and chairman of the Marvista Institute for Agriculture Training and Development. And it is in that context that I am here working together with Ika and Alistair. So I came specifically for a training session on papaya production. It really was a sensitization session, but I expect to come back, judging from the response yesterday and what they plan.
We'll talk about the yesterday and this response in a moment. But also with us this morning is Akil Ward. When we think of plant supply, we think planting and managing the planting and where to go to get all of the pesticides and so forth. Where do we think? We think Carter's. And so Akil Ward is with Carter's. And Akil, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Barbados. Good morning to you too, Peter.
Pearson, you've been in business.
Sorry,
that's okay. Yeah. Life is brief. And so Carter's has been around for so long, providing the support to farmers for a little bit. Talk to me a little bit about what Carter sees to be its relevance to agriculture today.
Well, to put things in perspective, I'm glad you mentioned the relevance in terms of agriculture. So Carter's has always been very integral in the development, obviously as an input supplier, right? So you look at us as an input supplier, and we're consistently looking at those technologies that are improving, right? To be able to come to Barbados and to be able to raise the level of production in Barbados. So this is as an input supplier. But in terms of development though, right? We have always felt like we have an obligation and commitment to agricultural development. So working with ICA came second nature. Working in terms of trying to raise crop production, something with pawpaw that a lot of Bajans might believe don't really grow, but we love that. Understand? And I also come here to not only as agro-rep Carter's, but somebody who actively practices agriculture, who produces pawpaw in Barbados, and it can be done.
There's a lot to learn from you.
Yeah.
Hold on, Aki. Yeah. Hold on. Alistair, you must be excited about this project because you have this body of people who are equally passionate about it. Why this pawpaw project?
Well, you said I'm excited, and that's correct. Because it's about the collaboration. We are all coming together And let me make it clear, ICA provides secretariat support to the Papaya Industry Development Committee. It's a mechanism that is driven by the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Nutritional Security, looking at advancing papaya production here in Barbados, particularly in light of the bunchy top pest. And what we've seen is a coming together of the various agencies that work in agriculture here in Barbados. Agencies such as the Caribbean Agricultural Development Institute, the FAO, the University of West Indies, both its Faculty of Science as well as its CAGRI unit. We've been working with other private sector players, the other input suppliers. As you said, the last time we won, we had one group of input suppliers. We have Carters here. We're all working together to drive the industry, and it's particularly also including the farmers. The farmers, in fact, one of the farmers is the chair of the Industry Development Committee, and we feel that we need to address a number of things: research, marketing and promotion, including capacity building. We feel that we need to transfer that technology and knowledge to the farmers if we are to see an increase in pawpaw production in Barbados.
Damien, as an economist, when people get involved in agriculture, they think of the economy of it. Is it worth it? And so, but is it worth it?
Based on the numbers, we can say yes. If we look at what we produce in Barbados, we produce about 139 tons on average. The global trade in pawpaw is about 370,000. So we produce less than a fraction of what is traded. If we could even capture 1% of that market in terms of exports, we can increase, if we increase our production tenfold, that would not even be 1%.
So how can we scale up?
That is part of the work that the ministry is doing. As Alistair mentioned, one of the issues facing the industry is the bunchy top disease, which would obviously affect the productivity of the crop. So your productivity is down, that means your profits are down. That means the viability of the business is down. So the key need in the sector right now is to get a solution to this bunchy top problem.
And that's where you, Michael, comes in. Because here it is, you train. I grew up in a time when I just saw pawpaw trees growing. I just thought you just tossed the seeds out and they grow, and that was it. Who cared? You just ate the fruit.
Yeah.
But there's a science to this. Talk to us a little bit about, from where you sit in your training institute, about the science to the propagation of the pawpaw.
Well, yesterday in the workshop, the deputy PS, I think, said the same thing. Yes. That the seeds were just scattered and they grew and so on, right? But Barbados has, I think, the ideal conditions for that pest, right? We talked about Belize and Mexico and Brazil. They are top large producers. But their climate situation and environmental situation is very much different to what we have here in Barbados. So we have, extreme heat, the humidity and all that. That's ideal for that pest. So in the context of the whole production system, and it is very possible, that's why I'm here, that's my experience, we need to review a lot of what we call the basics in the whole system. I give you an example. The whole fertilizer management program. There are basic techniques that are known but are not implemented across the board by all of the farmers. People have different ways they do, different approaches. We need to standardize what we're doing, and already by doing that, we're going to put the industry into a new place. With respect to the bunchy top itself, that pest is a very infective pest. And I will just quickly mention that one of the technologies, and I have worked with this over the many years, not only here, but in the other islands that I talked about, neem technology is fundamental to managing Empoasca. Simply because, although of course it sounds attractive to you with organic and all the rest, right? Neem has the following properties. Most people think neem is a repellent. That's what we know it.
Yes.
Let me let you know a little bit more of the science. So neem is a repellent. It is an anti-feedant. In other words, when you spray the crop or the area, the pests, and it's a wide range of pests that are affected by neem. Empoasca is a major one, leaf hoppers. So they when they begin to feed on the crop, the whole chemistry of neem blocks the gut and the chewing action. It's a growth regulator, meaning that when exposed to neem, or the limonoids or the technical compounds, from egg to the different stages of the development, it's blocked. They just can't develop. It's like saying you see the white stage of the nymph of the cockroach, and it just is stuck there. It cannot move on to the other stages. So that's the next thing. It's an anti-ovipositioner, ovi as in egg. So when you spray a crop, or papaya crop, the females now don't know where till they get confused. But of course, that's a major strategy in controlling the pests. And another major feature of neem is that a lot of the eggs that are laid are sterile. So that's a different battle we're in. Everybody thinks it's a repellent. And I would say that's through the region really, and for a long time. So I am responsible actually for introducing the best known neem product in the island, which is Neem-X or BioNeem. So that's part of my history as well. That's a fundamental technology. There are spraying techniques, all that came out in the field visits that we made the day before. Basics, but as you may know, the fundamentals very often are not fundamental.
Yeah, correct. I know, and that is fundamental. We need to fix the fundamentals indeed. But Akil,
yes,
as the expert in all of these, the agro representative, the man who knows all of this, why haven't we been doing this? Why do we have a problem with bunch top when we know this?
Well, that's what we're doing right now. We're getting the information out there. So I was exposed to this knowledge, not in Barbados, but in Trinidad. I think Damien could speak to this in terms of our imports. We import a very large number of pawpaw from Trinidad. I was exposed to that information through the Institute, actually through the Institute. So I was able to come up here and I'm spreading the information, working along, showing by showing. You understand? Showing by showing, right? So that's how we're basically able to, how we're going to be able to do it. So we have the methodology out there. We have the methods to do it. We have the technology to do it. He mentioned the new products. There are going to be better products coming on the market as well. Technologies that we are going to be bringing to be able for us to even be more efficient in doing it. Obviously we are in a landscape right now that is decreasing. So increasing technology, increasing our production.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. So Damien, this is fantastic. We're on the cusp of a change. We're on the cusp of enfranchising farmers to get more into pawpaw production. What's the next steps following all that we've been doing recently?
Well, the next step would obviously be to further continue the research at the ministry, looking at different varieties that might be resistant or tolerant to the pest, as well as Dr. Miku mentioned, looking at natural treatment methods as opposed to using pesticides and so on to address the issue.
And from where ICA sits, in terms of scaling this up to the point where other climates in the Caribbean who are similar to ours, so that who are battling with the bunch top as well, what's the plan from ICA's perspective to make all of this accessible to practitioners and farmers in the industry?
Well, we like to believe, and not just ICA, as I said, I think most agencies, repetition facilitates learning. And you asked earlier, why aren't we doing it? A lot of times people know the right things, it's like any industry, but they forget the basics, they forget best practices. So what we're trying to do is constantly remind persons about these issues. We worked with the ministry to develop a papaya production manual that is specifically used here in Barbados. We want to make it more available to the farmers across the region. We want to work with other countries, other eco offices, other agencies to get the word out. In fact, from here, Marcus is going on to Jamaica. But what we really need here in Barbados is more investment. We need to encourage persons to get into papaya production. I think primarily I heard Damien talk about exports, but I would say as well, just to reduce the reliance on imported foods, to reduce the reliance on pawpaw imported from Trinidad, to reduce the reliance on imported strawberries, blueberries, etc., bananas. Papaya, as you said, pawpaw, is a very healthy fruit. It's very beneficial to humans. So why don't we encourage the increased production of pawpaw, but we need to attract new investors. We need to expose the existing producers to the technology so that they can ramp up the production. So all in all, we're working as an interagency group, as I said, the Industrial Development Committee, to attract persons to transfer the technology and knowledge so that we can see a boost in the overall production.
I'm excited about this. I'm looking forward to this. And since Alison talked about the properties, this little book that I hold in my hand, Fruits Beautifiers, Some Ways of Using Our Local Fruits, was produced and prepared by Senator Carmita Fraser. You remember her so well. Eat what you grow, grow what to eat. And in it, it talks about the pawpaw. And it also talks about the many different properties. She says in this book that pawpaws are said to carry more vitamin C per ounce than some oranges and A from apples. It's also good for potassium, magnesium, sulfur, calcium, and iron. You didn't know that. You just enjoy the flavor of the fruit. Now you know it's more than just the flavor of the fruit and how it does your body good. Farmers, it's for us to produce more so that we reduce our reliance on what is brought in, so that we are even prouder of our level of production. We earn more when we produce it ourselves, and so we want to encourage more and more of you to reach out to the Ministry of Agriculture, to reach out to EEC if you have to, and see how you can get back into the production of pawpaws. I know you heard about the bunchy top, but look, the neem technology is available. Carter's has it, and so explore all that's possible so that your production flourishes and that we, the consumer, benefit at the same time. Gentlemen, I thank you. Alison Lee, who is the leader, country lead for ICA, Damien Coppin, an economist with the Ministry of Agriculture, Marcus Maiku, who is with the Mar Vista Institute of Agriculture Training and Development Limited, got that right now, and Akil Ward from Carter's, indeed. And so, gentlemen, all good luck with this production and the work that you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Ongoing effort.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Morning Barbados breaks right here. We'll be back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solaray microbiome probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One. Your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're...
Let's look at some news now. The Barbados Labour Party's introduction of a minimum wage was done despite much opposition, according to Prime Minister Mayor Amor Motley. Speaking at a public meeting at Lanes Road in Britons Hill last evening, Ms. Motley said the decision to do it was based on principle and it was the right thing to do.
We took a decision to increase the minimum wage. I served in a cabinet with Owen Arthur, and for the time between 1999 and 2008, at least on 3 occasions, we considered whether to do the minimum wage. And everybody around Owen told him, no, it can break the economy, you can't do it, it can mash up people can get sent home, businesses can shut. Well, I heard the same thing too. But the difference was that if you can't afford to pay people a decent wage, then you want to carry back people to slavery and oppression. And I can't, your business is not worth opening.
Well, the Barbados Labour Party's candidate for St. Joseph, Ryan Brathwaite, has outlined a major plan to roll out several projects which will enhance the lives of residents in that eastern constituency. Delivering his address on a rainy night at a public meeting at Lammings, Mr. Brathwaite also promised to set up a platform for the youth to develop into well-rounded citizens. He announced that he will start a constituency panel and launch the Moore Foundation.
As a new candidate and as your next representative, I will make sure to implement my Constituency Services Committee, a volunteer-led, people-centered committee with a clear responsibility, clear reporting, and clear accountability to ensure that your needs are met. I will implement at this primary school, St. Bernard's, St. Elizabeth, and St. Joseph, financial literacy programs for young children 5 years old, because teaching children how to save, teaching them how to share, and teaching them responsibility when it comes to money will build our community for the future. We have to start with them small. I will establish the Moore Foundation and provide micro scholarships for these same children. Because I am one, I was a child that was helped along the way.
Taxation is one of the contributors to the high cost of living in Barbados, which the Democratic Labour Party intends to tackle. Political leader Ralph Thorne says while he recognizes that people have an obligation to paying taxes, the level of taxation is too high. It's a matter which his party intends to address. Mr. Thorne was speaking during last evening's DLP presentation of candidates at Oyston's Christchurch.
We all accept the obligation to pay taxes. But I say to the Barbados Labour Party government that the poor in the middle want an ease from the burden of taxation. Again, remember this, we accept the obligation to pay our taxes, but government ease the burden.
Democratic Labour Party's candidate for Christchurch South, Corey Greenidge, is insisting the Electoral and Boundaries Commission voters list is riddled with problems. He says all DLP candidates continue to encounter complaints from constituents who are lamenting the fact that their names are no longer on the list. Mr. Greenidge declared that many Barbadians may be denied the opportunity to vote on February the 11th if the matter is not rectified as a matter of urgency.
My campaign manager here, he naming on the list. You naming on the list. And let me tell you something, this is not a Democratic Labour Party thing. This is not a Barbados Labour Party thing. This is a Barbadian citizens thing. We have a right to be on that list. And instead of this Prime Minister giving the Electoral and Boundaries Commission the stipulated time to correct the list and get it properly ready for an election that is due a year from now, she rang the bell after inviting that boy into her party.
A milestone in public healthcare delivery has been achieved at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital with the successful completion of Barbados' first transcatheter aortic valve implementation procedure, is otherwise known as TAVI. That landmark surgery was performed in the cardiac suite at the Alliance Eye Care Center by a multidisciplinary medical team led by cardiothoracic surgeon Dr. Christita Powlett, who was supported by consultant cardiologist Dr. Jose Lugo, consultant and head of the cardiology department Dr. Don Scantbury, and anesthesiologist Dr. Sherry Lashley. That procedure is a minimally invasive one of the heart used to treat aortic stenosis, a condition involving the narrowing of the aortic valve. It represents a significant advancement in treatment options for vulnerable population.
This procedure treats aortic stenosis, which is narrowing of one of the major valves in the heart, which affects mainly elderly people. These people are generally not candidates for open surgical repair or replacement, which is generally how we would manage them for younger people. Because of their advanced age and their comorbidities, they're usually not suitable to have open surgery. So TAVI procedure was developed specifically for this subset of patients. And today we successfully performed the first one in Barbados at King Elizabeth Hospital.
Let's look at sports now. Knapsack has a new title sponsor this year with Chef Foods Distributors, a member of the Chefette group of companies, now on board to support the future track and field stars of Barbados. It was announced during the official launch of Knapsack, which will once again feature 83 schools and over 3,000 athletes at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex, starting with the zones from February the 16th and ending with a grand final on the 13th of March. Addressing the audience, Knapsack's chairman, Janelle Denny, outlined the schedule.
The Knapsack family will once again gather at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex, where competition will commence from February 16th and will culminate with the grand finals on March 13th. The zonal dates are February 16th to 18th and February 23rd to 27th.
Managing Director of Chef Foods, Ryan Haloud, said the partnership aligns perfectly with the brand and Knapsack's product.
Our partnership started back in 2010. It morphed into a title sponsorship 4 years ago, and now we're Chef Foods Distributors this year. Question is, why Chef Foods? Why Chef Foods Distributors? The thing is, why not? It is our newest brand, our infancy brand. We launched formally to the public last year, say January, February. So we thought it great to bring Chef Foods on board as the title sponsor. It also coincides very nicely and neatly with the school nutrition policy. We're also pushing to have promoting active lifestyles.
And that's a look at news. Until now, we'll have more news right here on CBC TV8 coming up at 12 noon. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 14 minutes after 7 o'clock this Friday morning. It's raining, and don't forget there is a flood watch in effect from the Met Office. A flood watch is in effect. So just keep a close eye on the rising waters around you and be careful. Be very, very careful. Be careful on our streets as well as you go. Remember, sometimes those potholes pop up, you don't know, but they're pedestrians, and so you need to be mindful of their activity and right to also be users of the road. Just to let you know, too, that as our programming surrounding the upcoming elections continues on our radio and television stations, Barbados Decides the Youth Voice is a chance for youth to speak up and share their views on the issues facing our nation. On 98.1 on Sunday at 11 o'clock, you need to listen. You need to listen this coming Sunday at 11 to Barbados Decides, the Youth Voice. We will repeat that program on Q100.7 FM on Monday at 2 in the afternoon. So this coming Sunday at 11 on 98.1 to 1, listen and hear the voices of the youth as Barbados Decides. They're sharing their views on the issues shaping our nation. And then it's repeated on Monday at 2 o'clock on Q100.7 FM. Also coming up right here on CBC TV 8 is Barbados Decides, The Conversation. That conversation features members from each political party sharing their perspectives ahead of the 2026 general election. So it's Barbados Decides, The Conversation. It shows tonight, on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock this coming Tuesday, so don't miss the perspectives of the parties as Barbados Decides in that conversation on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock right here on CBC TV 8. But on radio on Sunday at 11 o'clock on 98.1, hear the youth voices repeated on Monday afternoon at 2 on Q100.7 FM. Stay with the CBC as Barbados Decides. You get all of the perspectives indeed. But also let me remind you that from the heart of Barbados, Codgerton Plant Nursery and Garden Center grows the greenery that shapes our island. Vibrant flowers, shade-giving trees, coastal resilient shrubs, every plant that is carefully propagated every month to keep Barbados beautiful, climate resilient and inviting. The Garden Center offers high-quality, locally grown plants, garden furniture and accessories that are all perfect for homeowners, landscapers and businesses. And every purchase, you know, supports local jobs, reduces imports, and strengthens our national plant supply. So whether you're planting a park, refreshing your garden, or adding color to the beachfront, your landscape begins at Codrington. Morning Barbados takes a break. When we come back, we have an exciting young man to share with you. I told you and I teased you at the beginning of the show that the fire within him drives his faith, and that faith reaches many. But you ask how? He'll tell us right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today.
People change, but you never do. That's the truth. Men lie, women lie, but I know I can trust you all the time. Every time I call, you always there for me. Every time I fall, you get me off my knees. You always got my back. I don't deserve your love like that. You're the one I'm needing, and you have my being. The reason my heart's beating. I know that you're all I need.
all I need, you are an amazing part of me. And it's so ironic that we were just talking before we came on to the show live. Isn't it weird, Jacob? Jacob Lawrence is with me, by the way. And I was saying to Jacob, I said, Jacob, do you know your mother loves you? Your mother loves you.
And she doesn't let me forget, you know.
I know. And that's important. And it's important also to recognize that that's an important part of you.
Yes.
Of who you are.
Yeah.
And that song then started to play.
Yeah, yeah. My mother's love is shameless.
Yes.
My mother's love is shameless.
And then you think of the love of the Father. And I don't mean just your earthly father, your heavenly Father.
Wow.
Who sees you and sees who you are.
Wow.
And who he has planned for you to be.
Wow.
And he loves you.
Well, you start real hot this morning.
Yeah, that's
you didn't even let me get a chance to warm up.
There's no chance to warm up. God doesn't give you that.
Send me straight into the middle of it.
Yes.
But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I guess this song describes that perfectly. A perfect love, a shameless love, and an unconditional love.
And too many of us drift, I think, away from that.
Wow.
And again, my mind casts again to the prodigal son who walked away and thought, this is my life, I can handle this by myself.
Right, yeah, yeah.
And then at some point, it woke him up to realize, get back.
Wow, yes, and even in his state, even at his worst, you know, even when he thought that all that he had done would have disqualified him from the love, and it was almost like the further he went, the more far-reaching that love is.
We have rain in our society today.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
And there are people who are drowning. Talk to me a little bit, and I really want to hear from you about how we can survive life's storms.
Wow. Well, you know, that opening with a song like this, I think if I can speak from my experience, and obviously, you know, we would have talked over the years and you would have gotten a chance to see my journey and things like that. And a number of things, you know, that I thought were sustaining, like maybe fame or maybe money or maybe some element of success or people's praise. For me, what has been the most sustaining is to know that very love that comes from God the Father and that comes from Jesus, and knowing that his love was so far reaching that he died that I might have a full life. So that is the thing that keeps me. And obviously we know that it's not a perfect walk, because every day on this earth you're always dealing with your own thoughts, you're dealing with things that constantly come against you and your identity. But I think for me that's the thing that has kept me and that continues to keep me.
There's
the
nothing
love
like
of Jesus.
Amen. There's nothing like a life raft.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
You know, we go to the beach and we prepare ourselves for the possibilities. We take our, what do you call those, tubes and,
right,
and the like.
Right, yeah.
And yet still we think that we can walk through life and not have our safety nets.
Right.
And know who has to walk with us to protect us.
Yeah, and sometimes the best place to be is outside of the boat.
Yeah.
Because that's where you learn to trust the Lord a lot more in the storm.
That is it.
Yeah.
Did you ever at some point in your life meet a reaction from people that says, I don't believe you?
Right, of course.
Not that your man who got to say that banjo, as we used to say, I don't believe you.
Right, yeah.
And when you had that, how did you deal with that?
So I think, and maybe at different stages I dealt with it differently. I definitely feel that there was a time where I felt like I had something to prove. But again, my rest in all things comes from knowing who I am in Christ. And knowing that I'm pleasing to him and letting the fruit of that be seen in my life, you know. So absolutely there were times, and you know, especially to people that may know you best. Wait, that's Jacob? That was the little boy that used to get so bad.
Correct.
You know, so even more so that than people that may be strangers, you know. But like I said, I think now I feel like I'm at a place where I desire for the fruit of my life to be evident. Right, because at the end of the day, people need to see proof of what you believe. But I realize that in the doing of that, it's not in me trying to prove, but it's in me living in that place. We too deep person, or we
No.
Okay,
I think we're just right.
Okay, good.
I do think we're just right.
checking.
There's someone who needs to hear this.
Yes.
And I believe that in my spirit at the moment.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at the food, the fruits that you're talking about. When a child is born, the child has no taste buds,
right?
Generally, but the child his taste buds, his tastes are trained,
right,
to certain types of foods. And I'm saying that within the context of your decision to take that personal walk with Christ.
Yeah.
it might feel funny, taste funny.
Right.
You feel as if this is the kind of diet that I can't take.
Can't take, yeah.
But you find that more and more as it goes, it has a good flavor.
Right.
It feels right.
Yeah.
And the body responds.
Yes.
And I'm saying that to say to someone today, don't give up.
Right, yes. And also I would add to that in the context of food, or when you talk about a baby, when you are immature, you need milk.
Yes.
Right? Your teeth are not developed to even process strong meat. But as you grow, there's that time where you go from being on milk to now desiring and needing stronger foods. Now that process can be difficult because you're used to milk. You're used to things that are maybe a lot more easy.
Mm-hmm.
But what you said, I think, is very valuable in being that when you get to that place where you have to now digest stronger foods, it can be difficult, right? Because we're used to something different. So yeah.
Have you ever stopped for just a moment and hear yourself? And when you hear yourself, what do you hear, and what surprises pop into your mind?
If I stop to hear myself.
You understand what I mean? Sometimes there are people who said, "Oh, you are so deep."
Right.
And for you, it's like I'm just.
Well,
sharing.
Pearson, this is your fault, okay?
Sorry.
This is your fault. You started deep, so like I'm meeting you where you're at.
Oh, that's what you know?
Yeah.
So then, will you stop now for a moment and reflect? Was it, wow, did I just say that?
Right.
Do you have those moments?
I don't know if I think of it in that way.
Okay.
I honestly don't think of myself as anything more or anything less, to be honest. Maybe other people may say that, but I enjoy good conversation. And this is we always have a good conversation.
Yes.
And, so I don't think I ever stop and think how deep I am. There are also things about me that are very, I don't know, lighthearted and very, casual.
Yeah, your mother tells me.
Right, yeah, she tells you all of those kind of things. Right, yeah.
So yeah, but that's life. Life is balanced. Life is all of those kinds of things.
For sure.
I mean, Paul had a thorn in his flesh.
Exactly.
And look who he is in the Christian faith.
Yeah,
so we're people. We're just people. Imperfect, but in God's eyes, the possibilities are tremendous.
Come on.
And so he works on us to smoothen those edges as it goes.
That's right.
And so, charting your life. Charting your life. You made a decision to accept Christ and to live for Christ.
Yeah.
Do you have milestones that you've set for yourself to achieve, or do you just go wherever the Spirit leads?
Like I said, I feel like there are levels. Like one of the things so it's Grammy weekend right now in the international world of music. And I always would say, Lord, it's still like a little Grammy, but it's not my goal. It's not something that becomes my ultimate pursuit. But if it's God's will for me to have that, then I believe that He would put it inside of me to work towards it, So yes, I do think that I have milestones. Like a big milestone of mine has always been to have maybe top 10 records on the Billboard and to be also one of gospel's leading songwriters and artists. And I think those things are healthy to have. I think once you purpose them in a way that ultimately glorifies the Lord. So I definitely have seen a lot of those things happen and are seeing those things being fulfilled. And I'm super grateful for that. Yeah.
No, I'm curious.
Yeah.
These things that you're seeing fulfilled. So
right,
talk to me. Go a little bit deeper into that for me if you can. Share with me some of those projects you're working on and just where you are in the achievement.
So you said we had time. How much time we got?
We got time.
Okay, good.
Let me be the timekeeper.
Right, okay, good. That's why we're here.
Yes.
So obviously, my journey started in secular music, and people may call it music of the world. And then I devoted myself to a life of serving the Lord, but my music never transitioned with that right away. I was still in a place where I was doing a bit of both, doing a bit of this, doing a bit of that. Ultimately, the Lord called me to a place where He said, look, I want you to make music that glorifies me. And when I got in that space, I said, okay, Lord, then you got to put me with some people that doing this. And slowly but surely, I saw the Lord begin to connect me with the right people. There's a big guy by the name of Pastor Mike Jr., not big as in size, but big as far as his stature in the gospel world, by the name of Pastor Mike Jr. I was asked to write one of his songs, and shortly after, that song became #1 song on the gospel Billboard airplay charts, and then it rolled on from there. I started connecting with one of his artists, an artist by the name of Adia, and now currently her song is number 8 on the gospel music Billboard chart, and continuing to trend upwards. And yes, we have a remix coming out with Erica Campbell.
Nice.
Those of you who know Mary Mary.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
So Erica Campbell is former member of that group. So just seeing how the Lord is positioning me in that world internationally is really something that I've trusted him to open those doors. So yeah.
That's obedience we're talking about here, you know. At the base of all of this, it's obedience.
Right.
Because our natural inclination as humans is to do our own way.
Do what we want.
In other words, I hear you.
Right,
yeah. I believe we should go this road
Correct.
instead.
Yeah.
But in your obedience, you're seeing the fruits that you're talking about come back to you. And that's what God promised.
Wow, that's true. And again, not to make it sound like a perfect walk, that road for me has been very much like this, you know, because you learn obedience. You know, the Bible says Christ learned obedience through what he suffered. You know, my suffering was the denying of having to work through, denying the things that I thought were ultimately going to be gratifying to me. And then also the obedience of then finally giving up something that the world had known me for all of my life, like music. So giving that up was definitely something that I had to work through, and I wasn't always obedient, you know. I'm still learning it to this day. I'm not always obedient, you know. But
I like your honesty. I love your honesty, as a matter of fact. So honest is he. I want to hear more from J. Cole right after this break.
Yes.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories, and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to...
Look past my mistakes, all my flaws, all my problems. You make them yours. At the end of the day, you still see me the same way. Yeah. Wherever I go, I know all roads lead me right back to you. And whatever I do, I know your love covers me, yeah. But I don't wanna just take it for granted, like your grace means I could do my own thing.
He's found his voice. He's found his place. He's found his message. He has found peace. That's J. Cole.
Wow.
That's J. Cole, who has matured in such a magnificent way that his glory is to behold. And so that's why we have him here with us this morning. Indeed, that fire that leads and drives his faith, drives his passion to connect with you through his message and his music. And so, Jacob, how important to you is it the company you keep?
Wow, how important. I would say the most important.
Why do you say so?
Company to me represents people that you keep to keep you accountable, right? Not just people that will tell you what you want to hear. And I feel very grateful. You know, you talk about my mother.
Yes.
She don't always tell me what I want to hear. My dad, he doesn't always tell me what I want to hear. But then my community, my faith community, I am grateful to be in a faith community. The name of the ministry that I attend is called Jesus Movement Family. And we're a community of believers that hold people accountable. And so I think that is very important. And then people that you can learn from, that you can grow from, people that affirm who you are, you know. So yeah, definitely. So I think very important.
As a recording artist, you do it alone. You're in there, it's your voice, it's your project. You're the one we hear and the one we see. That can build selfishness. That can build a whole self-reliance.
Right, yeah.
And keeping the company you keep, how do you be a part of and not be apart from? And say, you guys follow me.
Right.
Instead of, having that collaborative approach.
Yeah, well, I think one way or another you'll learn that you can't do it alone. Because even with the last 2 songs that played, I remember the process and even trying to get the track. It was very much like, yo, listen, this is your track. What can I do to have it? So then you learn that it takes a village to raise a child. And, I think we live in a time now in music now where collaboration is, I think people are realizing that collaboration is so valuable. So I think it's easy to be selfish, but then at the same time it's easy to not, if you understand what I mean.
Yes, I
do. Yeah, if you can see the benefit in collaborating with others, So yeah.
And so, but does it also put in your head the whole measure of competition? There are other vocalists.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And so at the same time, you want to be true to your Christian walk.
Yeah.
Because there's no room for competition in God's space.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want to be the one.
Yeah. That is sometimes tempting. Yeah. Especially, when we talk about things like charts, where they're like, oh, this one is number 1 and this one is number 5. Then you go, well, listen, I need to be number 1. But I think in the right company, it becomes more of like a healthy way of growing, and I think it's all about how you use that. And again, is it building yourself, or are we building a community or the community? Or
because I know as a worship leader yourself, you're also working alongside John Yard.
Yes.
And John Yard in himself has built a brand around him too.
Yes.
And so I just wonder sometimes, how does that work? Because you're both equally strong, and respected in your different spaces.
Right.
How does that collide, or does it complement?
I think with him and I, it complements, because I think the one thing that's good, because we've worked on, actually John was probably one of the first persons that said, man, I want to work with this guy on a local level in terms of gospel. And he saw something that I had that was valuable to him, and it was vice versa. So our collaboration has always been on the basis of, how can we help each other, musically. Now he'll call me, man, Jay, man, I got this song, man, I need you to think, so he's always given me the benefit of knowing that I'm valuable to him.
Yes.
And so therefore there's never ever really at all been any sense of competition, or yes, there are times where, like, humanly speaking, we're like, man, I wish I had a raspy voice like John, man. I wish I could command these spaces that he commands. But I think, again, me just coming back to knowing, what? The Lord has done what he did with us both, and allow us to work together.
I love it. I love it. Weakness. None of us likes to face our weakness.
Right.
At all.
Yeah.
We don't sometimes even want to acknowledge that it is a weakness, because we think we can fight our way through it, and we celebrate the strength in being able to do so.
Yeah.
How do you manage your weakness?
Wow. How do I manage my weakness? Is acknowledging, and I hate to sound so like super spiritual, but I believe in the humility of the cross. That's how I manage my weakness, because the Bible says that in my weakness, his strength is made perfect. So if I recognize that I can boast in my weakness, not boasting in it, not in the sense where I necessarily just live in it, but that if I say, Lord, I am weak, make me strong. And in experiencing God's goodness in the midst of that, I think that helps me. Okay, I have a place that I can go to access
For a lot of people, that scares them, because it's a moment of vulnerability.
Right.
People look up to you. And they expect you to be always perfect.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Good, so
yeah.
say.
That's another layer, I think, that is difficult because, you know, I'm sure you would understand many times you have to come here and you may be weak, but you have to be strong for all of Barbados,
yes.
you know. So sometimes I think that can be difficult, but, you know, just as the Lord put you in this position, I believe that He's built you in a way that He knows how to.
They say about me, this
how
is
to
about
do.
you. Well,
Well, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And so,
this is about me.
Yeah, that's about you. There are times when you are in public, and I'm saying this also from experience, you are not in the mood.
Right.
But you recognize your responsibility, but you're not in the mood.
Right.
And there are people who come to you expecting from you what they think they ought to get from you.
Right.
But you're not in the mood.
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
Case by case basis. On a case by case basis. Yes. Yeah. I'm not necessarily a morning person. So if you get me in the morning, it may be a little bit harder than, you know, in the middle of the day. But on a case by case basis, and again, I hate to sound super spiritual, but everything you say, my reference is always what would Jesus do?
Yes.
And there were times where even Jesus, before taking on the cross, was like, Lord, if this cup could pass me. But nonetheless, your will and not my will. And ultimately, what ended up happening, the Lord's will being done, everybody good. You know, so again, what becomes rewarding is that when I maybe sacrifice myself, seeing the benefit of how it helps others, that to me is rewarding. It makes all of the selfishness being thrown out worth it.
I listen to you and I keep thinking, gee, Jacob is really deep in the word. He's deep in the word. You understand.
I don't consider myself a theologian, okay?
You don't?
No. If you quiz me, I might
I don't mean it that way either.
fail sometimes.
That's okay. That's okay. But you know the word because you know where to find the thing that matters in the word. A lot of times people go to Google.
Right.
If you understand what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
You go to Google because all the answers are in Google.
Right, yeah,
but you
yeah.
know where to find your answers.
Right.
Your answers are in the word.
Yeah.
There are people who are watching today who are saying, but I find it difficult to read and understand the Bible. What do you say?
Yeah, so the word, the written word is, but then there's also the living word. Jesus is the living word. He's alive.
Yes.
So if that's your struggle, you can call on Him and ask Him to reveal Himself through His Spirit, and He will lead you to all truth. Yeah.
That simple?
Yeah. A complex thing made simple.
A complex thing made simple.
Yeah.
And you're right. You're absolutely right. But it really is about that relationship too.
True.
Because I'm not going to respond to Jacob if I didn't know Jacob.
Right.
If I feel as though you're a stranger, my reaction to you will be different from how it is if I feel you're a friend.
Yes.
And God wants to have that friendship with us.
Come on.
He wants you to want Him.
Come on.
And therefore you need to have that conversation with Him.
Yes.
The conversation does not rally around I want. It's just to say, hey, how was to God? I talk to God straight up. How was your day? My day was, you know, I wish I could.
Yeah.
But thank you for.
Yeah.
Those simple little conversations, and you build the relationship. And over time, the conversation gets deeper and richer and more meaningful, but it starts with a little bit. And I think if we begin to uncomplicate what the relationship really can be about, it gets so much easier for God to download into us what we need.
Well, clearly you and I have a relationship because this conversation is very deep.
Sorry, here?
Yeah,
That's my phone issue, sorry.
I love it. I love it.
You know, for this, now speaking of phones, because this one, what's happened here, and they're so touchy.
Yeah.
And AI is built into everything. AI was actually just listening to you and me.
Oh, wow.
And began to give me the definition of deeper connections and so
wow,
forth.
Listen.
It is amazing. Yeah, it's truly amazing. So it just started listening and telling me what I needed to hear.
Right, good.
Talk to me then now a little bit about, just liken this technology to relationship with God.
Wow. I wouldn't compare technology to relationship with God, just because technology is mechanical, and I think you said it very, very plainly. A relationship is something that God desires, and I think in a lot of ways, I think maybe we've always seen an aspect of God that is maybe a lot more dread and terrible, but through Jesus Christ, his desire is that we would have a relationship. And I think that's the coolest thing.
What's making you uncomfortable now? Not as with me, but now.
Right. Wow. I didn't think you would ask that question.
Well, I did.
What's making me uncomfortable now?
When you look at society broadly.
Right, yeah.
And
Right.
You get the idea.
Give me something.
Okay, you look at society broadly, and there's, for a lot of people, are concerned about our young people and the way they're going, and the seemingly disregard for their future and the meaning of now. Does that concern
young ones how to walk the straight and narrow path?
I smile because it's interesting you just said what you said. I met this big old Harbat fella.
Right.
Who said to me, my sister, much younger than he, as she was growing, used to watch you always on Mornin Barbados and said that you're her father.
Right, look at that.
So I understand what you're talking about there.
Yeah.
But it puts on us a responsibility.
Sure.
You talked about being in the home. That is not the perfect space nowadays for a lot of people. There are fathers who are not necessarily in the same dwelling, but who wants to play that part.
Sure.
Who desires to have an input into how their child grows as well. Talk to that father who struggles with that reality, recognizing that I don't have the every minute access because I'm not there every minute.
Yeah, that's good. I think the one thing that I would say, and I don't want to make it sound like I got all the advice because I'm not even yet an actual father.
That's all right.
But the one thing I would say is that I believe that in all of the imperfect circumstances that we see, God knew that it would happen or that it could happen before he made you a father. So I believe even in that instance, he has provided all the tools that you need to be the father that he's called you to be, to that blessing that he's given you.
You're right.
Yeah.
He's giving you all that you need.
All that you need. Well, look at how I did that. I didn't even plan that.
Just so.
I didn't even plan that.
But you're right. He gave you all that you needed to say to me in response. And I think a lot of times we struggle with that. Not recognize that we're perfectly made.
Yes.
God has given us all that we need.
All that we need.
And if there's any situation that occurs where we do need to have extra resources, he's the source of the extra resource.
I agree.
And that's a part of our relationship we got to get right.
Yes.
We got to get right. I want to get some more right with Jaco. So can we take a break? And when we come back, I want to go a little bit deeper with Jaco Lawrence. Yeah, don't get scared. That is with me right now, right here on Mornin Barbados. We're coming back in a moment.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close.
See you moving all around us. Jesus, you are moving in our midst. Jesus, you are changing hearts in our midst. Oh, Jesus, you are moving in.
Jesus, you are moving in our midst because your will be done. It's a song of surrender.
Yeah.
It's a song of acceptance. It's a song of recognition and it's a song of praise. All in that one phrase, your will be done, Jacob.
Wow.
Did you write that?
I did.
Do you remember the moment?
So as you were asked, I knew you were gonna ask me something like that, and I was saying, Lord, let me try to remember where it was at.
Yes.
That's a good thing about things not being about me, I don't have to remember.
That's right.
But what was the question?
Do you remember the moment?
Do I remember the moment? I vaguely remember, but you'd be surprised to know that the moment I wrote the song was something in my mind of a completely different contrast to what the song was about. I was witnessing an argument, and during that time, I felt like I was in that in the environment that I was to pray, and as I was praying, this was the song that came from that moment. Yeah.
And what do you pray for? And I'm not asking for your prayers, but what do you pray for? I ask that within the context of, I reflect on Daniel for just a moment.
Yeah.
Daniel was praying fervently. He did it 3 times a day at least.
Right, yeah.
And you ask yourself, what are you praying for?
Well.
What are you, Jacob, praying for?
A lot. I think it all, I think prayer is a necessary part of a believer's life. So prayer, I pray, they're prayers of just to communicate with the Lord, prayers of declaration. Sometimes I'm praying for myself, I'm encouraging myself in the Lord. So I think that's a very broad question. But if you want to know what I'm thinking of as you ask that question, I pray that the life I live, it goes back to what we were saying in the beginning. I just pray that my life would be a full expression and a reflection of Jesus in all that He has called me to be. That's my, I would say, ultimate prayer, because I feel like in that I am, a lot of people always struggle in the area of purpose. Or what's my purpose? I believe simply put, all of our purposes are the same, but the vehicle may be different, right? So I believe my purpose is to express Christ in the earth and to make Him known. So my prayer is that I would live in that place.
Amen to that one, indeed. Yeah. Do you have a prayer? I was going to say pattern. That's not the word I want. Daniel prayed 3 times a day. Set times he did this.
Yeah.
Do you have that kind of a ritual to your prayer relationship with God?
I'll be honest with you, it changes. There are seasons where and again, it goes back to community. Within my church community, there are times where we pray corporately together. Like, especially, so coming out of the beginning of this year, we did a pray and a fast corporately. And that encourages also personal growth in prayer. Yes, there are times where I am super diligent to this prayer routine, and there are others where I'm not. But the point is that I'm always praying. I'm praying while I'm walking. I could pray while I'm driving. I'm praying when I'm thinking. My cousin said something a long time ago. This was a revelation that God gave him. Once your mind is on Him, He's present.
Yes.
So I believe that prayer is as much at it as it is important. I do agree to have set times to pray. I do think it's also important to know that we could be with the Lord in prayer
at any time.
At any time. At any time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, we saw the veil, using the Bible again, being rent in two, which allowed easy access. Now we can go directly to God ourselves. We don't have to have a mediator. And I agree with you. I find for me, being locked in a car, just me,
right,
and the traffic ahead of me, you begin to focus a little differently,
right,
and you can have that one-on-one moment.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people tend to think a prayer means that I have to spend the next 10 minutes going da 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 da, amen.
Right.
That is not necessarily a prayer alone.
Right.
There's so many different ways. A prayer is just you're talking to God.
Right.
In my definition.
Okay.
You just having that moment of share. You give, He gives, and we have a moment.
Yeah.
And you can do that as many times in the course of a day as you possibly can, or you would want to do.
Yeah.
Or have it at your set times as well. So I agree with you in that terms of that flexibility.
Yeah, but I think both are definitely important. Yeah.
All right. So we're praying for a nation today, folks, and Jaco is passionate about this. I just think you are such an awesome young man.
Well,
I am excited for what else God is going to reveal through you.
Well,
I like the fact that you are obedient to God, and you open yourself up to be the vessel through which He is glorified, and you're doing it so well that I'm confident He will give to you the success, the everything you need to do more and more and more.
Amen.
And even more. And to
Amen.
that we both say amen.
Amen. Amen.
Jaco, as always.
We could shake on that.
Yeah, we can shake on that. I could talk to this man till thy kingdom come, but I don't have till thy kingdom come today.
I thought you said we had time, man. What happened?
Oh, don't do that to me.
I'm just joking. I was just joking.
So what we'll do right here, thanks again, and all the best as always, Jaco.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Jaco Lawrence, unforgettable. We'll take a break here. We're coming back in a minute.
Every time I fall down on my knees, I know that's where I need to be. I just wanna hear your voice whenever you speak to me. Take the lead, 'cause I don't really know where I'm going, 'cause I'm walking down a path I've never been before. But I know that I'm not alone. Wherever I go, I know all roads lead me right back to you. And whatever I do, I know you're not.
Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Don't forget, Barbados Decides and the programming on the CBC radio and television stations, also on our many social media platforms, will bring you the very latest of this election campaign. One thing you must prepare to listen to is happening on Sunday on 98.1 The One, beginning at 11 o'clock. It's Barbados Decides, the youth voice. The young people of Barbados are sitting and they're sharing their perspectives and giving you their views and giving to all of us. It needs to be a must listen for you. Sunday at 11 o'clock on 98.1 The One. And if you miss it then, you can hear it again on Monday at 2 o'clock on Q100.7 FM. It is a really, really good program. I think you get to really hear the honesty of the voices of the young people. So I really want you to tune in and listen. And in listening, hear and do. And so the young people are speaking, the youth voice, Barbados Decides, the youth speaking up, sharing their views on the issues shaping our nation this Sunday at 11 o'clock on 98.1 The One, to be rebroadcast at 2 o'clock on Q100.7 FM on Monday. But also coming up, Barbados Decides, The Conversation is a program coming to CBC TV8 featuring the members of each of the political parties. They're sharing their perspectives ahead of the general election, which you know is happening on the 11th of February. So the parties are having conversations, sharing their perspectives, perhaps their policies that they're introducing, perhaps something from their different manifestos as well. But don't miss it. It's on Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, right here on CBC TV8 as Barbados Decides, CBC, your election center for all things elections. CBC News is out and about bringing you all the latest news from the campaign trail, and you'll be hearing a whole lot more about your respective constituencies as well. So you become familiar with what you need to do on February the 11th. So, Barbados Decides. That is it for today. That is it for the week. My little crew joins me saying to all of you, thank you for being with us. We wish you a wonderful weekend, and if it be the grace of God, we'll be with you on Monday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.